But if
Oh,
they did, they did. The truth will come out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So it says that the disciplinary tribunal, I can't read. The disciplinary tribunal found that Asinga did not satisfy his burden of proof to establish the Gatorade recovery gummies were the source of the GW1516 metabolites detected in his sample. So the AIU is not agreeing that it came from the Gatorade
Okay.
recovery gummies, but
That
he,
makes more sense.
he's saying that it did. That's my bad. That's my bad.
That makes more sense that they don't believe that it came from that.
But
Because that I
the
don't know if
AIU
I
is saying
believe
that
that, to
in
be
the making of
honest.
this decision, among other matters, the disciplinary tribunal took into account the fact that the Gatorade recovering gummies provided in unsealed containers by the athlete for testing contained significantly more GW1516 on the outside than on the inside, which practically excludes any contamination by raw ingredients during the manufacturing process. That the Gatorade recovering gummies were batch tested by the National Sanitation Federation and were certified with the NSF Certified for Sports certificate, and that a sealed jar of Gatorade recovery gummies from the exact same batch taken by Singa tested negative by the Lausanne anti. I don't, low key, bro. The Gatorade gummies, bro. I don't know. No, high schoolers don't take this. Don't take this, bro. I don't think y'all should take these gummies anymore, bro, because there's literally this GW1516 is on the outside of the gummies. That's what they're saying.
What
But
did he
like,
mean it's on the outside?
I don't. However they make it, bro. They say it's on the outside
On the outside of the container, though? That's what
of like the gummies. I believe on the gummy, like it's like
come
it's
on,
on
this is Shelby-ish, bro. I'm tired. I'm sorry, bro. This is
on
Shelby-ish.
the
I'm not
outside.
gonna lie. This is I'm creating a new word. This is kind of like what she was saying about the burrito. She ordered an asada burrito, but said there was pork in it. I don't and there was a small, you know what I mean? We're picking away at straws. I'm sorry. The 4 years is pretty harsh,
That's messed up.
but
It's one less than
I
Shelby.
don't think he provide. It doesn't seem like he provided his team per se. They're probably gonna hate me. It's all good though. Provided like a good amount of proof to me because honestly, I am not completely convinced based off what you just read.
Asinga, I'm with you, my guy. I'm with you, bro. Hey, if you can
All love though.
go down to the show notes, click on it, read up more onto the story. I'm gonna link exactly what AIU, their tests, and everything about the athletic integrity unit, what they did. But we got a show to do. I'm Joshua Potts, Mr. Possible, always with the brother with the same mother, Aaron Potts, Super Hot Potts, and you're watching and listening to your favorite two black runners.
Every single Tuesday. I got you, bro. Don't worry.
Oh man, it was Ali. It was Ali. It was Ali.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we are back. Took a week off. But track season is really here. I feel like it was like the real official kickoff with the LA Grand Prix, Prefontaine. I was just at the state meet. We got some meets coming up. So I think we're gonna use this time just catch up with y'all, you know?
Yeah, no really thing planned today. Kind of going off the cuff, but there's a lot to talk about, and we're gonna get to it. But let's not do it for 90 minutes. Let's try and keep it under 90 minutes. But I want to read this. I want to start here, Aaron, because you texted me and John. If you guys don't know, John's our photographer. You feel me? He texted us this in our group chat after the Prefontaine Classic. Where is this text at?
It's in the running report group chat, I think. Yeah.
Oh, here
Running
we go.
report
Here we go.
things.
Aaron texted said, "Hey, I ain't trying to hate, but that meet was kind of mid. LOL. They marketed the meet so well this year, but it didn't really live up to the hype, in my opinion." Talking about the Prefontaine Classic. You
Hey, that
want
sounds
to
kind of
explain your
harsh.
feelings, bro? You want to explain your feelings, bro? Come on, man. How you feel
Nah,
at the Jake, man?
I'm not trying to be the pessimistic, track and field
Why?
fan that we all are. Everyone who loves track hates track, in my opinion. But I sat down, I was up at the state meet, I watched the full 2 hours, and watching it at home, it didn't really jump out. A lot of things didn't really jump out the screen to me. I feel like there were a lot of stars low key missing. We had stars there, but we only had one key matchup. The only key matchup was the Josh Kerr versus Jakob, versus Yard. That was a key matchup. And I'm a distance fan myself. I love distance. I ran the mile, I ran the 15, the 8. That was my event. But I think it's hard to build a whole track meet built around the mile at the end. To be honest, I want to see Sha'Carri, up against a rival, against the top athletes. I want to see Sha'Carri
You saw that. What are you talking about?
She was up against Elaine, but I want to see her up against Sharika. That's what I want to see. I want to see her race with Sharika Jackson, bruh. We know Elaine been injured and hurt. And it was cool seeing her. I want to see my boy Kung Fu Kenny against Noah, against Fred, against Arion. I want to see Coleman up against Fred. It was kind of just watching Sha'Carri have a practice meet, Coleman have a practice meet. You know what I'm saying? It was, to me, I'm not saying it was trash, but to me, it was the same. It wasn't that much different from the LA Grand Prix. LA Grand Prix, what we saw Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone go crazy. And she was up against Gabby. She was up against Gabby Thomas. She was up against Jenna Prandini.
Steiner.
And then in the distance races,
Adeleke was in that race too.
Bro, the distance races were just as good over there. They were running crazy fast in the 5K and the 10K at the LA Grand Prix.
And the 15. They ran good 15s there.
And even in the 800, Bryce Hoppel wearing 143.
Yeah.
So, shout out, kudos to the LA Grand Prix for stepping it up. But I definitely do think, though, the marketing this year for Prefontaine was amazing. How they were dropping the athletes that were going to be there. Maybe it was they're waiting for the confirmations, or I don't know if it was a strategic rollout. But the way they did that on social media, on Instagram, was great. And it built up a lot of hype. I do feel like the Jakob, and maybe I'm too close to the fire. So maybe that's why I kind of feel like this too. I was thinking about that. Real fan. The other fans tell me, but I just also feel like the Jakob and Josh Kerr, when it started off, it was so authentic, and that's what made it great, and now, everyone, NBC catching on, they playing into it a little bit more. It's a little forced. Bro, but it's still fun.
Now you sound really pessimistic, bro.
Am I a hater?
Just because everybody's on it now you just don't want to like it. What are you talking about?
I'm not trying to be a contrarian.
That was the best part of the meet. What do you mean?
Now it was cool. It was cool. Yeah. No, I liked it still. I might be a hater though. I don't know. Y'all telling me if I'm a hater.
I think you're hating on that part. I do think it was kind of underwhelming. I didn't watch the meet live. I'm not afraid to say it. I was out to dinner when I was not dinner. I was out to lunch.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't reserve your time to even watch it, bro.
Right, so. Come on, man. I was with my girlfriend's family. Sometimes things come through. I did watch the Bowerman Mile though live because I was like, let me put this on. Let me get Peacock on my phone real quick and pull this up and really see. I want to see this race live. I want to see when it happens. I don't just want to scroll through Instagram and see what happens. But I did watch it all through the next day on Sunday, and the meet was kind of it was cool. It's just a lot of people weren't there. A lot of people aren't running fast as usual. But I think we've been spoiled by the Prefontaine Classic the past 3 years. You got to think 2021, Elaine Thompson ran out there and ran 10.5. Amazing, iconic race. And that was right after the 2021 Olympics, where nobody was in the stands. Everyone came out, Prefontaine Classic, and showed out. The next year, 2022, Diamond League, it was just a great meet overall. We had Armand, I'm looking at it right now. We had Mondo Duplantis competing. We had Trayvon Bromell running a 9.93. You had Jacob running a 3.49 and Ollie Hoare right behind him in the mile. You had Michael Norman running that 43.6. We had Argawi from Ethiopia ran 12.50. Dos Santos ran a 47. Lane Sha'Carri and Sharika ran. Ryan Krauser threw a 23. Keely versus Ajay versus Raven. Faith Kipyegon was out. There was just so many stars and heavy hitters that year. Then last year was the Diamond League final. So it's just we've been spoiled by Prefontaine that there's just been such a high standard, which I like. which I like definitely because this is the thing about Prefontaine. I remember Kyle Merber had this point, I believe, a year and a half ago, or maybe even 2 years now, when he was saying, how can we get these meets where they mean more, where people want to win at these meets? I believe people want to win at the Prefontaine Classic. The same way people want to win the Wanamaker Mile and want to win at Milrose, it's the same thing as Pre. Pre isn't used necessarily as a stepping stone to get to the Olympics. No, like you come to Pre and you want to win there. Like
Yeah.
there's no doubt that sets you up for your season. Getting a win there, you're getting a lot of scalps. And I think Prefontaine has set that precedent that there's people that come there. And by Christian Coleman getting that win, even though it was with a 993, which isn't super crazy, but it does show that like he's he's the top dog. He's the top dog. Like there's no
I
guarantee right now.
yeah, I get
So,
what you're saying, that people do want to win Pre, but then that's just like a bigger conversation back to what Kyle is saying about how do we make these meets that matter. And you still have to, everything is always going to be aligned based off of when the championship is in the season. So to me, this was like one of the first like real meets. Like Coleman and Sha'Carri both have ran some Diamond League races, but I'm sure coming back home onto that track, it does mean a little bit more. That's where the trials are going to be. So
yeah.
I feel like the story was like, this is like maybe, I don't even know, like your first league meet or an early invite, in the high school, if you're relating this to high school or even to college, an early invite to see where you're at. But it still wasn't a meet where like you're more so focusing on your tactics, getting a little bit sharper, seeing like kind of where you're at, but it's still not a meet to where you're looking at the time and you're like, okay, I guess you are looking to see, oh, I'm in this shape. It's more so, how am I reacting in the race? That's what I wasn't there, and I'd have to ask an athlete, but that's what it felt like from watching. And I'm looking at LA Grand Prix, like we had Ryan Benjamin run 46.6 world lead.
I don't think it was. You're trying to say LA Grand Prix wasn't better though. I don't think it was necessarily better. They're
We
the same level.
had
They're the same
Yeah,
level.
that's what I'm saying. They same level. And what I'm saying is, isn't Pre supposed to be on a higher level? But I'm always happy to have more. I'm happy to have more events that are rising up to the same level as Pre. That's great. That's more entertainment, more say. But
But I think it's more if you just want to see the same stars like week in and week out. Like it would have been dope to see Michael Norman come back up there and race at Pre. It would have been dope to see Sydney go there and race at Pre. Like that would have been really cool,
yeah,
but that's just not where our
I would
sport
have loved
is
to
at the
see Gabby
time.
Thomas race Sha'Carri.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. But our sport isn't. It's just not there at this point. But what is cool, I believe Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, she's racing this weekend at the American Track League, the Edwin Moses Classic, I believe what it's called. I think it's like streaming on Citius Mag, I think it's on Total Running Productions, like Flow Track's YouTube channel. So like a whole bunch of different. I don't know why they're doing that, but that's what they're doing. So everyone could watch it. So like I think Matthew Bowling's racing there, and some other people are racing there as well. Michael Norman may be racing there as well. But yeah, the Edwin Moses Classic is coming on American Track League. So the week right after Pre, we get to see those same athletes again. So we're just not
You
there.
get to
Yeah,
compare them, compare these people over here versus that. There's still something we could be made from that.
yeah. But Prefontaine overall, it was good meet. Our first time not being there in 3 years, kind of definitely different. I don't want to go through every single race because I kind of did that on the running report YouTube, but what do you want to dive into about Prefontaine? I already gave like all my takes on Pre. Do you want to talk about Josh Kerr and Jacob more? You want to talk about Sha'Carri more? What was your hot takes from the track side about Prefontaine,
Shoot, I just gave you my hot take. Literally, like I just wasn't that entertained. It was cool, but did it really mean anything? I guess
That's fair.
Josh Kerr versus Jakob. It was a good race though. It was interesting, but I'm not like, oh, for sure Josh is gonna beat Jakob now. I don't know still, and I still think I'm still interested to see what's Cole. I still believe that Cole can be up there with Yard. From the American side, I do still think that Cole could be up there, bro. He's had a good year. He kind of got tripped up in the race too. And then Cooper 353 after falling. That's great. So they're both looking really good, and I want to see what that's gonna mean for the 1500. But I don't know. Also, I'm just slowly starting to like Jakob more and more. To be honest, I'm more of a Josh Kerr fan. He's the homie and stuff. But I just love how Jakob is not afraid to put himself out here like this. He's willing to be the villain for all of us. Like that's bro. Like that's dope that he's willing to take that.
Yeah. Jakob's he like right now, like the dude's 24 years old. Like Jakob's beast, bro. He's beast. But like I just don't like how what he was saying. I don't like how he's trying to take shots at Josh at the in the mix zone afterwards, saying how like he just doesn't race as much as me. Like he just wasn't here last year. And like I don't people were really factoring like, dude, like you kind of have to be at this meet, Jakob. Like this is Nike's meet. Like you're supposed to be here. Like, oh, I'm pretty sure all Nike athletes are heavily incentivized to come to the Nike Prefontaine Classic. And now you could probably change that, but like you're gonna come to this meet regardless. This isn't just like some random meet. So like, and you've been here for the past 3 years. So I don't really like that. But yeah, I like Jakob too. And I thought it was a good race. I still don't think this means that Josh Kerr is gonna win the 15. He's definitely the favorite though, but Jakob could easily beat him. He won the 5,000 last year too. Like I think we forget about that. Like this dude won the 5,000 2 years in a row at the World Championships. Like he's
Yeah,
different.
people. Yeah, that's a pretty hard event. But Josh looked really good. He looks
Yeah.
really fit. He looked great indoors as well. So it's gonna be a battle. Let's see if anyone else can throw their names into that mix. Hopefully, we could get an American up there just battling with them.
You think Ellie beats Shelby's American record this year?
Oh no, that actually is a huge story. She looked great. 356. That's what she ran, right? The American record
356.
is
Number two,
354.
356 flat.
And she beat Gudoff she beat Gudoff in indoors, bro, in the 3K,
She's
which
the world
is
record holder indoors.
that's pretty crazy that she beat her. So
Yeah.
she's in phenomenal shape, but on the women's side, internationally, it looks crazy when you think about um, someone like Gudoff. I don't know if she's gonna come down and run the 15, but why wouldn't she? She ran 350 earlier this year, and then we still haven't seen Faith. Faith's gonna be up there, and you got Stefan Hassan. So it's just crazy. So I think she'll have an opportunity to be close to it just because how fast the women's field is at this moment in time.
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised if Ellie medaled, honestly. I think it would be really hard because the 1500 women's side, especially, they always run fast. It's not going to be a slow race, but I wouldn't be surprised if she medaled. I believe when Shelby Houlihan met when she ran the 355 in Doha, I
I
believe
think it's 350.
she got fifth, I believe. So like if she could run a 355 or something, or maybe she runs 354, she's strong as heck right now.
I think the record is might be 354.
354.
Let me see.
But I really feel that I wouldn't be surprised because I think Elias became an elite racer. We talk so much about like her pregnancy and being out, and like that's changed her, and it definitely has. Like having the kids changed her, but I think there's something just even taking that year off from like running and competing that
Yeah.
has changed her. Like she seems more refreshed than ever. Probably pressure is off. Like there's some mental shift and just training that she was able to build on weeks on weeks on weeks. Where like she's a different runner now. And also hats off to Jess Hole. She's running both of
She's
them.
running great all season.
Both of them are running like honestly, they should just race each other just one on one every single week till the Olympics, and like we'll see great races.
Yeah. The record is 354.9 by Shelby Houlihan.
Do you know what place she got in that Doha final? That was Doha, right? I'm pretty sure. 2019.
Yes. I believe she got fourth place.
Fourth place.
Let's see. Let me double check. Yeah, 350, 354.99 in 2019 at Doha, fourth place.
Yeah, she can. I think Ellie can medal. I think there's a world like there's a good chance where she medals in at the World Championships. I don't think Emily Mackay, Nikki Hiltz, Sinclair. I don't think they can beat Ellie. It looks like Nikki is like literally the best racer. What they did last year, but can they beat Ellie now? I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's hard.
Let's
That's a
see what
hard
Nikki
ask.
can do. Let's see what Nikki can do when they're in better shape towards the end of the season. But in 2019, now that I'm looking at this, Stefan Hassan won that race with the 351, and then Faith was in second with 354.
No, it's Laura Muir.
Third was Gudolf,
Oh, good.
Sergey with 354, and then it was Shelby, and then Laura. You know, Nikki actually got last that race.
Oh,
So
really?
how everything, a lot of those athletes, Laura Muir was in fifth. A lot of these athletes are still they're gonna be the ones we see again. So it'll be interesting to see how it shapes out.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be exciting. A lot of exciting things from the Prefontaine Classic. Just excited to be talking more about track and field going into this month of June. We got New York Grand Prix coming out next Saturday. We got some Diamond Leagues like in Oslo coming out very soon. As I think May 31st is Oslo. This coming this week. So a lot to talk about in track and field that we'll definitely get to. But before we get well, let's leave the pro stuff aside. Aaron, you're in Clovis this past weekend at the California State Meet. And if y'all know us, we love California, born and raised in the Inland Empire. And you're able to call some great races on the mic with Corey Mull, our guy, bro. Just how was that experience overall going up in California, calling 2 days of the California State Meet? And man, 12 years ago, you were competing there. And yeah, 12 years ago you were competing. Now being able to call it in the booth for 2 days, just how was the experience?
It was really cool, man. You know, we got to commentate back at Kansas. And that was mainly distance races. I think we had like maybe one hurdle race, but
Yeah,
this is the state meet. So like we only did track events, of course, but I got to call like 100-meter races, 200, 110s. So it was like it was a good experience to get out there and get my feet wet and kind of, just be behind the scenes. I'm someone that very much is learn by doing, but I'm also someone who can very much, I watch how people do things and how people move. So just doing that again made me, even when I'm watching Prefontaine, I'm watching how they're going back and forth. So my role for CIF State, I was the color commentator. So basically, when you do commentating for our listeners, you have the play-by-play person and you have the person that adds color. And adding color is basically describing what's happening, talking about strategy. You'll see it when you watch Prefontaine. What's Homeboy's name?
Paul
Paul
Swangar's
Swangard.
play by
Paul,
play.
yeah, he's the play-by-play. He's the one, setting up the race. In this lane, you have this
Yeah,
person, and then this. He's kind of like guiding you, and then Sonya will come in and be like, "Oh, and Sydney, look at how she's moving at the last 200. She's going to her arms. You could tell that she's so relaxed." And then maybe Otto, he provides color. He kind of does play-by-play a little bit too, but he'll provide color as well and jump in. So they have like this rhythm. So it was cool. It's cool that now my mind is a little bit more turned on to that, and just what goes into that and how it goes into that, how it works. So I'm happy that I was able to just get another track and field experience.
Aaron, what surprised you about commentating at the meet this weekend?
Man, it's just hard to fill in dead space, bro. Like, it's just hard to fill in dead space, and like the way it was for us, it's like um we don't it's not like we had replay and like all of that top notch technology that you would see on TV, right? We're just it's just going. Like we are just going. So filling in the dead space is sometimes hard, and you gotta just. It's kind of like podcasting in a way. That's why I really related to. It's very much like podcasting because this is just straight up off the cuff. You know, you're just saying what comes to mind, and you can't think about it too much. So
Yeah.
that's what maybe like the first day I was like, it was prelim, so there's a lot more heats. You know, it was a long meet. It's also it can be very tiring, but I also feel like it's something that comes like decently natural to me because at the end of the day, like you are just watching the track meet, bro, and you're talking about it. So sometimes you just get into it, you know, because I legitimately do. I love track and field, and I like watching track and field, but comparing it to, it feels almost sometimes like, I don't know, in a way, it's physically less labor intensive than when we're on the sideline or in the mix zone trying to get interviews and you already have, I guess, just because how it was set up and it was so many kids that I didn't know because there's prelims and stuff. It's not like when you're doing a mix zone interview, you're like, okay, this is the theme of what we're doing. We're going to go get Rye Benjamin and we're going to ask him that. It's like, no, there's like 8 to 9 kids lined up, you know, in a prelim. And then there's three different heats. And then I guess this is the one thing that's hard that you don't realize. I kind of knew this was going to be hard. So when you watching them up there running, you're like, oh, shoot, identifying who's in. If you don't know who these kids are, whereas like in the pros, it's one race. And you know just about everyone in every lane. Like, you know who the people are for the most part, right? So it's like, if you don't know, like me, I'm like, oh shoot, you gotta look down, you gotta look up, say, and then you gotta say something, and you don't want to say someone's name wrong. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of improv. I think a lot of people don't realize it's a lot of improv. So like, big credit to the people on TV for what they're really good at what they do. I watch everything. Like even when I'm watching TNT, like I'll be trying to absorb and learn and just seeing how they set each other up, knowing when to come in and talk and when to back off. And like I said, I think doing podcasting is a lot of good practice, but it's live, bro. When it's live, like it's live, you know? You know, because you've done that stuff. It's live TV. It's not I was on TV, but it's live, bruh. So you're just going, just don't care. That's what I say. I just like, bro, I don't even know who's watching this. I'm just doing it. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna have a good time.
Yeah, when I did the ESPN Plus thing, and it wasn't live, but we're shooting it like as if it was live. It was essentially live. But they would keep on telling me like just, or even just when I did like OC News, when we did like live shots and everything, just like act like it didn't happen, bro. Like honestly, it's half the time the audience isn't gonna notice, like to be
Yeah,
honest. And especially even with like a lot of like sportscasting or definitely like news, you got to realize too, a lot of people are just casually viewing. There's definitely people that are intensely watching, completely focused the entire time. But like if you're watching the news, you're kind of half in, half out doing something else. At times, like you're watching Prefontaine and like you're kind of on the phone, looking up, going
exactly.
up and down. Like you're really not looking that intensely into it all the time. So if you flub a word or if you miss, like it does kind of get nerve wracking, but it's kind of like at the end of the day, a lot of people probably didn't notice. If you just keep on going and going and going, like you'll
Exactly.
be good. But I want to ask
That's
you,
yeah.
what was the most exciting race that you watched? And then um what was the most unexpected race you watched? Like you didn't think this was gonna be super good, or you weren't expecting it to be good, and then it was like super.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like the race I was like I was surprised by how good it was.
yeah.
That's hard to say because they're almost one. No, they're not one and the same. I would say, what was the best race? That's hard. That's hard to pick. That's hard to pick. Um, I guess I would say the girls 4x8, that had to be probably the most exciting.
Wait, Ventura dropped the baton twice? What
Yeah.
happened, bro? They were leading and Sadie dropped the baton twice on their last leg.
Yeah, Sadie dropped the baton twice. And so going into the race, I think Ventura's they ran 904 and Santiago ran 904. I think they both ran around 904, let's say. But basically how they did it was, though, Santiago was actually leading because they had Braylee Combe. She got second in the mile. She's pretty quick as well, sophomore. But she was the third leg, and she opened up a lead for them. But Sadie was the last leg. So Braylon got them about, I would say, like a 3-second lead going into the final leg. And then I don't know how they dropped this with Han, but like Sadie, they come and they hand it off to Sadie, and then Sadie, like, I don't know, they just fumbled it. They just dropped it, and then and then Sadie tried to pick it up and she dropped it again. I was like, bro, what's happening? Like, I was like, yo, is she doing this on purpose? Like, they just trying to make this entertaining. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the girl had to have like close to a 5-second lead, bro. But I knew she was gonna get caught, like, to be honest. But that was pretty
203, like.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I was still like, it was still exciting. I was like, is this girl gonna be able to respond? Did we respond? And then Sadie didn't really catch her until about like 600 to go. But the fans were pretty hyped about that. I would say the 4x8s in general were kind of really exciting because then, bro, in the boys race, I couldn't believe it, bro. I'm watching this because I'm following the team race too. And Cathedral, it would have been huge for them if they would have won this race.
Yeah.
Points wise, and like it's basically Cathedral versus
Poly. Was it Clovis North?
Long Beach Poly. No, it was like I have it still open right here. Oh, San Clemente. San Clemente won last year. And Cathedral was right with them with a lap to go. Maybe they were probably like 2 seconds, 1 second, not that far ahead. I was like, okay, where we go. And then Cathedral's coming in. The dude comes to hand off the baton. He falls down. I was like, what? They're like battling, and he just like fell. He didn't drop it though. He just fell onto the ground. I literally was commentating, and I like stood up. I was like, oh my gosh. So that was like, that was very surprising and exciting. Another really cool race was the girls 4x1. Oaks Christian won, and everyone thought it was gonna be both the 4x1s was good.
Was it Calabasas?
Long Beach Poly or Calabasas. But hey, Nia Clayton, she was the champion last year, and I think they were just clutch. They had the best handoffs, and Nia Clayton just ran a really good last leg and held them off. So that was interesting. And then I would say last for unexpected. I knew after the prelim it was going to be good, but unexpected was the boys 200 and 100 because I wasn't aware of this phenom that you guys should start hearing about more in California. His name is Brandon Arrington. This dude is a freaking beast, bro. He's only a sophomore, and he won the 100 and the 200. He's ran like 10.2, like 10.27 and like 20.9. Just has a very athletic frame. He was just no one could touch him, and he's only a sophomore. Yeah. So it'll be exciting to see how he develops over the next couple of years.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be interesting. That was dope.
He ran 20.5 in the final.
Yeah, that's dope to be able to also just be able to up there and call like a lot of these kids races that we've been seeing for the past couple years, even to be able to call like Santiago since they're running so good and they were in our league. And there's a Roosevelt kid I know in the 1 and the 2. Jeremiah was in the 1 and the 2, and to see like Peyton Smith, she won the 400, and we talked to her last year when she got hurt or something. So that's a dope opportunity. But the good thing about it is you're gonna see some of these kids again this coming week, this Thursday at the Hoka Festival of Miles. We're gonna be there at the Hoka Festival of Miles this Thursday, doing our thing, having some fun with the fans and the athletes, just getting some reels, some content. Probably may have a podcast from it as well. We'll see exactly what we plan out. But in these races, in the high school boys mile, it's gonna be super competitive with like Drew Griffith. He just ran 3:57 for 1,600 meters. This dude's probably gonna break 4 minutes. We got William Steedham, we got Clay Sheevely, Zach Hilthouse, Nathan Neal, and more. And then on the girls' side, we got Ali Zealand running, Ali Ince, Isabel Alori, Charlotte Bell, Kiera Daly from California is in this. And also we got Californians in the elite mile, Anthony Fasthorse, Evan Noonan, and more guys that are going to be running in this. Tessa Buswell, who won the 800 at the California State meet. She's going to be running the 800 there as well. So really exciting. This Thursday at Hoka Festival of Miles is going to be going on there. You excited for that, Aaron, or what?
Yeah, no, it's also I've watched it on the live stream. Last year we did the thing with the exchange, and
Yeah.
it looked super. It looked super dope. Like the whole entire like walkouts that they had, the stands was pretty full. And I've just never been to Missouri. We're gonna be in and out of there, but I feel like there's a lot of people I know that are from Missouri, and it seems like a cool city. So I'm excited to be there and see some good races.
I was there like when I was like 10 years old. I think 10 years old. So cool to go back to St. Louis. I think it's gonna be a fun trip. Yeah, super duper quick trip though as well. And then we also want to let you guys know that on June 26th, coming up Olympic trials, we're planning for everything coming up there. We're gonna be doing a trivia night. We're going to give you guys all the details coming soon, but mark your calendar, June 26th. If you live in Eugene, if you live close to Oregon, if you're coming out for the Olympic trials and you're going to be there and that break day of June 26th, hey, you gotta pull through. You gotta pull
You gotta
through.
come through,
You
man.
gotta
This
come
is
through. We're teaming up with
yeah.
Hoka again. It's gonna be a fun event. We're gonna do some trivia, and just really have some fun and gear up for the second session of action at the Olympic trials, where like everything is basically going down. So yeah, it's gonna be an exciting time. About a month from now. So
Yeah, it's a month out. Tell your friends, everybody that you know. But we'll follow up with more details. Always excited. We've done stuff like in Eugene over the past couple of years, so it'll be cool to like just do something at more of like a restaurant bar type. We're also partnering with Run Hub Northwest, which is a local running store in town. They'll be doing a run from the store, and we'll end there and expect there to be some prizes along with the trivia, and just I don't know. We just gonna have a good time, bro. We just gonna have a good time. So make sure y'all pull through.
yeah, good time just for track nerds to congregate and like really just have fun and get ready for the Olympic trials coming up, like a good community type of event. But hey, we appreciate y'all tuning into the Two Black Runners podcast. We'll see y'all next week. It's been exciting. Track is fully in full swing, absolutely. And like it's just going up from here. It's honestly going up from here. But anything else, Aaron, before we get out of here?
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for listening this far in. I mean, yeah, go check out that new video Joshua dropped though on the
Oh yeah.
comments, on the YouTube, on the Instagram comments. That was a pretty dope thing. Totally different. No one's ever did anything like that before. So check that out. Hit me back and let us know what you think about that too.
All right. See y'all next week. Let's get it.